Hey everyone.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Happy
afternoon.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday shift.
Happy
I
Sunday.
was just
Here's shift.
sharing that this is our 100th episode.
Happy 100.
Happy 100. We didn't do anything special, but nobody says that we can't do something special for 101. I just was not prepped.
No problem.
Um,
Um,
so maybe we'll like toast some Prosecco or something for 101. If you're just joining us, I'm going to start doing this at the top of the episode instead of the end. If you're just joining us and you are on YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe to the video. Leave us some comments because we do read the comments and we love talking with y'all. And if you're on any kind of podcasting platform where you're just listening, make sure to rate us and leave us a good rating because we love to hear it.
Yay! Yes, we would.
How was your week?
My week was very interesting. We
Okay.
had 2 nights of drinking. The first night was actually doing a tour of some of the downtown businesses, the nightlife in
Oh,
downtown. Did a tour with the mayor and the city council person and the city administrator, just so we can see what's happening. Stuff be
so
happening.
important.
Stuff be happening. Shout out to a couple bars, Hello Stranger, which if y'all haven't been there, they have some really interesting local specialties that you should check out.
I love you saying that. Like most of our listeners live in Oakland.
Oh, I know, huh? Never mind. Well,
Check
yeah,
it
if you
out.
guys come and visit, come and check it out. Another place would be Rose and Blue, which is on the waterfront, which I went to on Saturday to check. Yeah, that's a night. They have nice some wines and some pizza, and it's like right on the waterfront. It's great for bougie black time, but also for anyone else that
There you
wants to
go.
join and drink wine on the waterfront. So yeah, but Oakland at night be kind of interesting. There was like an impromptu car show,
Always.
impromptu sideshow, but there's also a lot of people having a good time, just chilling, maxing and relaxing, acting all cute.
Uh, Shooting some people outside of the school.
Out of school, right? But yeah, there's a
So
lot.
old.
Yeah, I know. Huh? I'm aging myself. Anyway, yeah, so I had 2 nights of drinking, which kind of served as great sleeping pills for me.
Well, listen, y'all. I haven't been sleeping well this week, so and I don't even know what it was. It wasn't anything like big,
Mhm.
but I text Tanya and I was like, Tanya, I just woke up. It was like an hour ago, y'all. It's deep in the afternoon. I was like, I
Right?
just woke up. And we have an event after this that we're going to together. So like, woo, we'll see what happens. Towards the end, you might hear us rushing, but I don't think so. I think we're good for time. Well, because of that, you want to get right into the show?
Yes, let's do it.
We had 3 days. So I was like trying to like put together some things. I was like, I don't even remember what happened. And I literally just rewatched the week last night. So big things. Jordan and Anna talk about Anna having Sunny security watching her. Robert also was like, what is this? Valentine talks to Martin and to Nina. You know I'm about to drag the hell out of Valentine all episode. I'm so mad at him. Mm-mm. It's like a reverse. Like Spencer can't act right, and then Valentine acting right. Now Valentine ain't acting right, and Spencer acting right. Can we get these Cassidines together? Anyway, too much
Right.
editorializing from me. Um, Ava is missing. No one is concerned.
Right.
Like,
Funny
um,
as hell, I left her a voicemail. She didn't answer.
you know, um, Charlotte after burning down Anna's house and trashing her hotel now has house as her reward. Um, And we find out that Valentine went to Martin for help, has called Laura and is like, girl, could you come back, stop looking for your trifling son and come deal with your trifling granddaughter? Like, anyway.
What he said, but yeah.
We also find out what Victor put in that letter to Charlotte. He was like, you can't trust Anna. It was big burn book energy. Like, shout out to Mean Girls Day. It was like, she is a fugly slut. Like, it was just like, Victor, why are you this way? Anyway, all this editorializing is when you know I really did write down a review. Anyway, Tracy, of all people, tells Chase about Gregory's ALS. Sam runs up on Gladys and is like, girl, what is this? Sonny shows up, runs Gladys out of town to Bridgeport. And Dr. Montague is arrested, and somehow Josh Wicker's wife is the hero. Who would have guessed after everything? But that all happened. And Sonny and Nina don't know what eloping means, but they're getting married and headed to the island. Same island where he takes all his women. And Sonny is now asking his children if they'll come to the island with him. I'm sure more things happen. Oh, and Sprina, enjoy the afterglow.
Yes.
Talking about art in bed.
Yes, and Gregory and Alexis take something off the bucket list.
Really important to me. really important story to me.
Right.
Anyway, how did you feel about the week? What was your favorite moment?
Honestly, I felt like stuff that should have ended in a big way didn't end in a big way.
Agreed.
But it was an okay week. I mean, it felt like the big, Friday cliffhanger didn't happen. So it was like, and there was there any funny moments? No, not really. So, huh?
I will say, Sante, Together and Apart always do it for me. And
right.
Those are my two favorite things this week. One, where Gladys basically was like, Sam, you can't leave.
Oh, yes. That actually was a great moment. It was funny.
And Sam was like, you won't get what you deserve, girl. I love Kelly Monaco. I love her delivery. I love Sam, obviously. Shout out to 20 years of Sam. And then I also love Dante. He was talking to Christina, and he was like, "Oh, I told him I'd catch the next wedding."
Right, I'll catch the next.
Dante.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about those. Yes, those were funny.
So those were my favorite moments.
What favorite moment did I have? Oh yeah, I also enjoyed Charlotte side-eyeing Anna. Her line was, so how do you like our new home?
Anna was like, it's nice to see you. Charlotte just bounced on her.
And then she was like, and Anna was like, it's lovely. And she's like, so Dad, I want to go out with you.
Bounced on her. I love me some Anna, but yeah. I also love me some Charlotte.
Like, totally just only acknowledge her to the extent to be like, yeah, look at my new house.
Me and my papa.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. And what else? I enjoyed Sprina. And their, what'd you call it, afterglow?
Yeah, I think that at this point, soap should be doing more fan service, and this was fan service. And I say that in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, this is a couple who people have been waiting a long time for.
Mhm.
They had this really amazing moment and then it wasn't dropped. And I think that's so special that like after this thing happened, like this big moment happened, we're not gonna act like it's normal again. We're gonna talk about it and we're gonna like, also be talking about our characters and talking about how well we know each other. And then, like I just thought it was really um more of this, please. More of
Yeah,
this, please.
how they're
Across the board for all couples. You know what I mean?
yeah, how they're in love and, cutesy little conversation.
Hmm.
So, yeah, those are my, I guess, my favorite moments.
I just
Um,
say one more thing because I wanted to say like more of that for all these couples because I think that like for me this show just feels like it's drama, 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 and they don't give people a moment to like really like bask in like goodness. And as soap fans, like of course we love the drama, but the drama is made like important because you've like given us the really really good moments to live in, and so
Mhm.
I just really hope that they take that as a lesson from what they did with Sprina of like giving people these moments to like bask in the goodness and the sweetness before you give more drama. Like let people have the moment.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, performances, as far as the skill and the mastery of acting, just showing a little extra, mm, I have to give it to Josh Wickward for his 5-second scene in the hallway where he was upset and
Yeah.
shaking. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Was not expected. I mean, yes, I would expected him being mad, but he was literally shaking how upset he was. And so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
hey.
I thought
Seth
you were gonna say his with the eyes.
with
That's
the
what
eyes too. The eyes were red. He was crying to man, they must have shot him up with some salt in the water. Cause
well, I mean, like I really thought like he had gotten hit with
some
pepper spray.
right.
Like it didn't look fake.
Yeah, I mean, he was streaming his water. I was like, they must have put some salt in it to make it that red.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I thought he did really well too, and it's Chase is typically such a supporter, like a puppy dog. We really haven't seen him in a place where I have felt for him in a long time. Um,
mhm,
anything but like just happy to see Chase.
right.
So to like have him give that like super emotional performance, I thought was really good too.
Also just want to lift up Bonnie Burrows, say goodbye. Thank you for 4 years of Crazy Gladys. um, yeah, I mean, Gladys had some ups and downs in her career, and I liked reading the interview in the Soap Opera Digest, where she talks about how she's not like that, and it was a great way for her to express someone that's so complicated because she's so even keel herself.
Yeah.
And so and she was just grateful to be on there because she was supposed to be there for 2 days and ended up being there for 4 years. I've definitely had some um scenes where I really enjoyed her and just laughed out loud. There's also at the same time I had scenes with her where I'm like cringing. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? And so she played them both very well. And so I just wanted to give her a shout out and thank you and hope we can see her in other scenes
Mhm.
in the future and daytime and nighttime in the movies, wherever she wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you giving that shout out, Tanya, because I think there's like such when people don't like characters, people act like that it's something wrong with the actor sometimes.
No.
And Bonnie Burrows is just not that. She's so talented. She's so good. There's a reason that we felt such like intense emotion for her from her. Um,
Mhm.
and it was like an up and down, right? Like we all saw and believed the closeness with Gladys or with Sasha
Mhm.
because she played it very well. Like
Yeah.
her and Sophia did like such a really great job. And so that's what made the betrayal even more upsetting. and not cartoonish, but actually like upsetting. So
Very
yeah,
good.
like shout out to Bonnie for doing a really great job as Gladys.
Yes. Those are my performances of the week. What about you? What are you thinking?
Um, I agree with everything you said. I think the only other person, I mean, y'all know I love Scarlett and Charlotte. Like, I'm just so happy
Yeah.
she's back, and to be able to like play what she played, um, like in like just like reading,
Mm-hmm.
like that's a really difficult thing as an actor. Where she like we hear this voiceover of Victor, but we see her just like there.
Yeah.
She did a really, I think that like just being that young and skillful to like keep us engaged in that way
Mm-hmm.
just shows why I'm so happy to have her back.
Yeah, and then she also had another scene where she was just listening in the back to her dad talking to Anna, um, where she reacted to all of that. Like, he's like telling her that he loves her, he bought the house for her, and she's like, just she was not feeling that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to, the rest of this story and what more she's gonna do. I feel like it's not gonna end. So, and it sounds like there's like almost like this kind of long term like brainwashing that Victor kind of almost did of her, with her. And I'm really curious about how the tarot cards really plays into what she's doing. Like we saw her playing with it. We saw her talk to her dad about I have to ask the cards about Anna moving in, but I'm really wondering to see like are the cards telling her specifically to do something? Is she gonna hear Helena in her head or what's going on? I just like really
Uh,
curious about how this plays out. So
give it to me. Bring Helena back and let her be in Charlotte's head. Why do you
right,
give it to me if I can't have it?
right,
I do. I saw a picture that the actress had posted with Hudson, who plays Jake.
yeah.
And they like it was like their acting coach. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, they're going to acting coaches together. They're about to eat. Okay. Like these scenes with the two of them, they're already so naturally talented. So I'm really excited to have this like younger scene of I mean, GH said, oh, y'all changing the daytime Emmy ages. Say less. We got two daytime Emmy contenders. And so I think that we're gonna see some really good stuff from them. I'm fingers crossed.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, what works for you?
For people who just listen, I just made a face like, what did work for me? So much didn't work for me this week. I got so bad at so many things. Jordan being beautiful worked for me this week. What a goddess. My goodness. Um, Spencer spoiling Trina worked for me. Love it. Couldn't love it more. Um, give my girl the world. Give her all the things. And her allowing herself to be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. You deserve, girl. Take it all. Um, that might be it of work for me because I was mad as hell. I was really mad all week.
Oh my gosh. What worked for me? I guess the storylines that we're talking about, Charlotte. Charlotte worked for me.
Mhm.
Um yeah, what we talked about, Dante and Sam.
Mhm.
And
Sasha being done being tortured works for me.
yes.
God, get it out of here.
Um that worked for me. Laura and Kevin worked for me too. Mm.
Let's talk about Laura and Kevin a little bit. What worked for you about that? Because they work for me too. I love Kevlar.
I love that Kevin can be real and frank with her. Like your son is avoiding you. He is avoiding getting caught by the law. And he's telling her that, while he understands her wanting to find her son, There's some sort of, there's some history behind that, feeling that she's failed him because she left without him. Love bringing back that history to just
Yeah.
kind of explain her super attachment to him. And her just, sharing his opinion, but not forcing it on her. Like she ends up, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm still gonna find my son. And then he's like, okay, well, I'll find the first plane ticket and let's go back. I love that aspect of that relationship. And they're just, phenomenal actors anyway. But then I also love Laura recognizing that there's a more immediate concern out there, my granddaughter. And I mean, and I think she took the information that Kevin shared with her, and then when she heard about Charlotte, decided, okay, maybe I just need to focus on Charlotte right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, so I know I felt those scenes were great scenes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I love that when Valentine first called, she was like, "What Spencer do?" He was like, "Oh."
Spencer? He's like,
Laura, you might not know, but Spencer's actually kind of busy.
right.
He ain't really did nothing that got him any trouble.
Yeah.
Um, Trina's taking care of him. But I agree with you. I really liked her going back to her history. I don't
Mhm.
agree with it. I don't
Right.
agree with like what she's saying about Nicholas, but I think that we need more character motivation, and it needs to be for more than just Laura or Sunny or whoever.
Mhm.
Carly, like we actually need to dig deeper to all of our characters for that motivation, because remembering why she feels so guilty about Nicholas reminds you why she's gone and why she would go through all of this for
Mhm.
this like character who we have, most of us have just been like, by Nicholas.
We're done.
So I think that it's really important that we had that history lesson from her and got that like, this is why I'm doing this. And so I really appreciated those scenes for that. And then like Kevin, husband of husbands, making reservations, making sure they got their plane tickets. He said, I printed out our boarding pass. I was like, a man. You
But
better
you
put
know what? Spencer did that too, right? Spencer was like, okay, our tickets are downloaded and all this other stuff. Let me help you pack. I'll zip up your,
yeah.
men amongst men.
I love how the bar is in hell because we're like, you printed boarding passes? A
Right.
man.
All right, that's
But it is what it is, okay?
yeah.
I was impressed because like also he had made dinner reservations. Then he was like, I made the reservations for the plane. Him and Laura flying first class.
Right.
Like it is just, I really enjoy. I love Kevlar because they're grown.
Mhm.
They're grown. And he's taking care of her. And even if he don't agree with her, he said, "Girl, I'm taking okay.
Right.
Somebody is taking care of my patients. I'm gonna stay with my wife." And I really loved that.
Yeah. They're great.
For
Um
reminding me what works for me.
um yeah, so that's it for me. What works? Let's get into what didn't work. You want me to go first?
Valentine Cassadine.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead.
Valentine Cassadine told Nina that she knows him better than anybody.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I was like, so I feel like they really are going to try, or at least try to bring back Nina and Valentine as a particular friendship or couple, because it's about to go down once Sunny finds out what Nina does. And right now, Valentine and Anna aren't clicking the way they normally are. So there's going to be some sort of convergence, but I don't appreciate that. And I didn't like what he said because
I didn't like it.
Nina does not know Valentine better than Anna.
No.
She does not.
First of all, Valentine spent the whole relationship that he had with Nina wanting to be with Anna.
Right.
I think think a couple things. I have a lot of thoughts about this. But I think that part of the problem is that they put too many eggs in the Sona basket. Now, granted, I am not a Carson fan. I'm a Carly fan. I actually don't like Carson at all, to be quite honest. My Carly ships, I liked her with Jax. Fuck Ingo, but I liked Carjax. They gave me Joss. I liked her with Todd because I said, "Oh, this is kind of trifling." The Carly, yes, I can get behind this foolishness.
Right.
Like
Right. That was great.
I loved me some Car Todd,
Right.
unapologetically, and so they put too many eggs in the Sona basket, and people don't like it, despite what you might see on certain forms of social media. They are not a popular couple. And they went too far with Nina and like doing unlikable things with her. And so they have to bring her back. Because the thing about it is that Nina's not going anywhere. Cynthia is like a veteran actress. She is a lead of this show. This is not the like Sunny's other women kind of thing. Right? When they brought Cynthia back, when they brought Cynthia on for Nina, Nina became a lead in a different way than Michelle Stratford was. So Nina ain't going nowhere. So now they have to figure out, after all this time of making her unlikable, how do you do something with Nina? And so what they've decided to do is to like put her in Valentine's orbit. And like I'm particularly annoyed because I really like Vanna. So like she did all this stuff with Sunny and Carly. I didn't care about her breaking up Carson. I cared about her not having retribution. I cared about there not being payoff, similar to how there wasn't any real payoff with Gladys. But like I cared about there not being real payoff for how big of what she did was. It wasn't just some beef with Carly, because I'm fine with people beefing with Carly. Sam is my favorite character, and her and Carly had beef for years, and I loved them both. So I thought about that for me personally. It's about like she did so much. She kept Sunny away from his whole family. She allowed like Peter to run amok. Like she was just doing so much for her to like come back and just like go to the club in her freaking dress. That was just too much for me. So that's part of the reason. And I've never liked the character Nina, but that's like why I specifically didn't care about Nina. Now I'm mad that Nina's coming in between a ship I do care about, which is Vanna. In a way that doesn't make sense. I mean, I know that you like Vanna, maybe not as much as me. Do you think that this makes sense for Valentine as a character?
No, but I think what they're going to try to do is have him thinking about his daughter.
Yeah.
We know that part of the agenda for Charlotte is to not only get rid of Nina. Now we've seen scenes.
We were at Anna.
Or Anna. Clearly, she wants Nina back in the picture. Like, I'm happy to go on a trip with you alone, Nina. I miss you. I love you, Nina. And so I'm thinking they're going to try, Valentine's going to be like, well, Charlotte wants this, that kind of thing. But yeah, it does not make sense for him to say that line, though. That really did not make sense. To say that Nina knows him better than Anna. No.
Oh,
he can vacillate between the two, but to say something that's not true, that Anna is not as significant in his life as she is, that doesn't make sense.
Anna, let's get into it. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna begrudge just because I'm so mad about it. When Valentine was lying to Nina throughout all of Valentina's relationship, Nina didn't know anything.
Right.
Let me tell you who Valentine could have never faked a daughter for. Anna.
Yeah.
Because Anna knows this man.
Not only does she know this man, she got better sense.
Well, that too. But like knows him.
Right.
Part of the problem with Valentina was that Nina didn't know him. Anna is not shocked by Valentine and anything that he does. When she they've even talked about the fact that their kids, they would kill each other for their kids. They actually very intimately know each other as spies, just like he couldn't hide anything from her. She knew something was wrong, and he be knowing when she knows. That's like the back and forth, the kind of Mr. and Mrs. Smith of their relationship. That he knows when Anna knows, and she know that he know that she know. You know what I mean? Like, that has been the kind of give and take of their relationship, which has never been the give and take of Valentine and Nina's relationship.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Nina's ability to excuse Charlotte's worst behavior is actually one of the things that made Charlotte kind of a little monster in the first place. Even when Nina used to go after Willow, when she was her teacher, Valentine would be like, maybe you should chill it out for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that whole idea that this is it's such a rewrite. I was just watching the video of Nina, or Lulu telling Nina that Sasha wasn't her daughter. It came up on my YouTube or something.
Yeah.
And it was the way Nina went after Lulu, she just exhibits so much wild behavior. Especially when it comes to Charlotte, especially when it comes to Valentine. This idea that she knows Valentine better than Anna is just, and this is not just me as a Vanna fan, this is me as somebody who's watched the show. It does not make any sense to me. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
I agree. It doesn't make sense.
And Valentine, how do you feel about Valentine not telling Anna about Charlotte? What do you think that's why it's so annoying
so that goes back to what you said when you said that they would kill the other for their children. That goes to that, right? Because so he knows that what Charlotte did was super dangerous, and he's going to protect her above anyone else, even above Anna, because they had that conversation, So I mean, even though it doesn't kind of he doesn't trust anyone when it comes to his daughter, even Anna, apparently. Because, like you said, Anna would probably fight for Charlotte too and try to figure out how to get this thing situated without Charlotte having to go to jail. She probably would do that. Yeah. But Valentine don't trust anybody except now. So that's another thing. Apparently, he trusts Nina enough because he's seen that Nina has gone to bat for Charlotte in a crazy way, and he knows that she would do it. So that's my thinking about it. Of course, I don't agree that's the direction that he should go. He should tell Anna, I think. He should trust her enough to know that she would fight for his child the same way, but he doesn't. At this point right now, he's going 100% daddy mode and doing everything he can to figure out how he can help his daughter, and doing it with the woman that he's seen gone to bat for his daughter already, and trusting in that instead of trusting in Anna, which is sad because he really should. Yeah.
Totally. Because the other part of that for me, and I really appreciate you, because it's I was listening to you, I was you know what, this kind of has calmed my perspective. I went from 10 to 9.5.
That 0.5.
That 0.5 is still there. Right. But because I think, just like we said, Anna would protect Charlotte. We know Anna would protect Charlotte. She has proven time and time again that she would protect someone like Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And so you have Valentine basically having Anna live in fear.
Yeah, that's the sad thing.
She's living in fear for her life and for her livelihood right now because you can't be honest. And it feels forced because nothing has happened that would make us believe that Anna would turn Charlotte in and not make sure she got help. Like Anna's a spy. She knows and she's not a cop, and she playing around with Sunny. So clearly, she ain't just turning everybody in. It's just like that. It doesn't sit well with me. Again, to your point, I think that like now he is like thinking irrationally when it comes to Charlotte. So that is like taking me down 0.5 of a notch on him. But the like letting her live in fear is why it can't go down any lower. And Anna's not gonna quit trying to find who did it. So she's gonna be bringing in more people. So now you got more people looking for Charlotte.
I also wonder if part of him is actually thinking that, knowing, like you said, they know each other, and thinking that he knows that Anna probably suspects him in it, and he's using that as a way to deflect her attention away from Charlotte. That might be another part of this whole thing. But again, you're right. Having her continue to live in fear and distrust is a little is bad. It's not cool.
Mm.
But I think there's still a little bit of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in there, but I think he's focusing on his daughter too much. And so it's going to make this relationship really rocky for a cool minute. Yeah.
I'm okay with like angst and problems. I think that any good coupling and good pairing is always going to have that. So I don't need for them to be perfect. I
Mhm.
think that for me, for a couple that has like as strong, like they had such a build, it was so like out of the ordinary. It was so invested in by the actors. I need something that feels more real to be, you know what I mean, their obstacle. And that's kind of where I'm stuck at. But, it's GH and it's these scabs. So, how do you feel about, I want to ask you, how do you feel about the way that the whole Gladys Dr. Montague thing went down?
So yeah, that's the other thing that didn't work for
Mhm.
me.
Tell me, tell me.
I'm happy for Sasha and being able not to have to suffer anymore. Um, what I'm not happy about is that she wasn't her own hero in this situation. So while it was entertaining to see, Gladys be scared and upset that maybe Sunny might murder her, that was hilarious. But and to see her, get her little comeuppance with between her and Sunny, I really wish that Gladys stayed around a little. I wish that Sunny would have kept her around, or at least in the apartment, long enough for Sasha to come home and Sasha to be able to say, not only were you, drugging me and stealing my money, and you were totally gaslighting me, and you called the police on me, and then let Sasha be able to have that confrontation, because I think she had it with, did she talk to Cyrus? I think when she was,
Yes.
yeah. So she had that moment with Cyrus. So I really
She had
was
it with the hook, Heather Weber.
hooked. Heather Weber. Yeah. I want her to have that with Gladys, because Gladys, I mean, what Heather did was, obviously awful. But what Gladys did was even worse because she's Brando's mom. And they had a relationship and they were close. And I think Sasha deserves to have that closure, and she's not going to get it. Because it's not like Gladys is going to jail and will be in a holding cell for a couple weeks. No, Sunny shipped her off, and so there's not going to be an opportunity unless Sasha and Cody go on some trip to Bridgeport, which I doubt. So that's what's really disappointing. I don't think Sasha got the opportunity to have closure, have revenge, or any of that. I think that was taken away from her. And
Mm.
she's the one that suffered the most. Cody, I mean, yeah, Cody got stabbed by whatever. I don't care about how Cody feels about this. So he got to have his little revenge with Dr. Montague. He got to punch him in the stomach, and yeah, now he feels great and he can go off and be the hero. Sasha doesn't get that. And
Mhm.
she's the victim. And so that's what made it really disappointing to me. Um, Yeah, because I wanted Gladys to actually experience a little bit more suffering than she did. Um, and also, I mean, Dr. Montague, I guess he's a bit player in this. But still, I want Sasha to be able to confront him and be like, "You're supposed to be my doctor, not you were drugging me. You were making me feel like even more, disjointed and confused, and you did this to me." And she should have the right to have that conversation, and GH didn't do that for her. So and then, of course, I don't like the fact that Cody gets to be the hero at all. I don't like that. So yeah.
Sodi Rising.
uh I can't, no, why do they no.
um, this perspective, Tanya, you always balance me out because really my perspective was based in a hate for Sunny.
Oh.
I was so annoyed. First of all, let me just say I was annoyed at Sunny like essentially teleporting across every set on Friday. Bro, get out of here. This is too much.
Talking to Alexis, talking to his son,
Harleen.
talking to Carly and everybody. Yeah.
Every set that was up that day, they were like, how can we get Mo to it? Come on, wherever. It was ridiculous. But for me, I think I agree. I think Sasha should have definitely been able to be her own hero. For her to Sunny wasn't even needed in that story. Sam has been on this. Sasha has been on this. There was no reason, to your point, that Sasha shouldn't have got out, came home, and had that moment where she was like, Gladys, pack your shit and get up out my house.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it was funny that Sunny pointed out that the luggage wasn't hers, but it would have been even more satisfying to have Sasha to be like, get out my house and actually give me your clothes. Give me the shoes and the clothes off your back. As a matter of fact, here, take a t-shirt and some jeans and walk out my house.
here,
You know.
it would have been, especially because we already had this scene where we saw her like call the police, but like we needed that. Sasha needed that. That's the problem that GH does a lot of the time, is that they set up these really, really big stories where people are just doing wild shit and then just letting it go. I wanted Dr. Montague dead. I needed his blood on him because Sonny, you beat up the paparazzi for taking pictures of Sasha. Dr. Montague was going to kill her. And like he just chilling. I feel like with Gladys, this is your punishment, going to Bridgeport. Now I ain't never been to Bridgeport. Maybe it's a bad place. I don't know. But like that don't feel like enough. And I think, yes, like you always like saying these things. I'm like, why didn't we get that? Sasha to come home. And then also for Sasha to like, for Sonny to ask Sasha, what do you want to happen to Gladys? Because they gave Sonny this moment of like, you did this to me. You pretended like you cared about Mike, Brando, whatever. No, this is not about you. This is about Sasha. So even being like, Sasha and Sam being there, like Sasha going off on Gladys, and then when Sonny shows up, being like, Sasha, what do you want to happen? Because it's happened to you. And then she was like, you know what? You're lucky, Gladys. You're lucky I'm a better person than you. I just want you to go to Bridgeport and never talk to me again.
Yeah.
That would have been a much more powerful scene.
Yeah. They missed that opportunity. So it wasn't a very satisfactory ending for me. Um and I mean, it's not too late. They could go back and, be driving along the street and see Sasha with the bodyguard, pull her over and yell at her in the street. I don't know. I hope they give her a sense of closure and ability to confront those that hurt her. That's important.
It feels important, but I don't know if they will, because I don't care about that.
A couple other things didn't work for me.
Huh?
There's one other thing that didn't work for
Please
me.
tell me.
as much as I'd loved, Sprina having the conversation in the afterglow, I didn't love that she's still so focused on Curtis as her dad.
Yeah.
Like, her other dad is out there getting drunk somewhere because he's lost his daughter.
Right. Or he
And
thinks he has, yeah.
and I mean, and that's not it's not Trina's fault. It is the writers that they have totally, dropped that whole story and are focusing on Curtis. I don't like it.
Well, let's get into it because I want to have a conversation about race, which we do all the time. But I do want to talk about this. Um, so I like get a lot of my like info from Soap Central, and I was like reading. They do this column called Two Scoops.
Mhm.
And so like because the week and like you give like the spoilers is like the scoop, and the two scoop is like the opinions. And so I actually don't know the writer who does this. It was a man. I don't know if he's white or I don't know what his race is. I don't know anything about him. I just know his name. And so he wrote an article. He wrote his two scoops, and I was like reading it, and it was like mostly gushing about spring. And I was like, oh, that's sweet, because I do think that like it's just really important that people got that fan service from Sprina. So I was just like reading along, and then I got to the point where he was like dragging the storyline about Drew and Carly and Michael and like kind of trashing them and saying like that it was like offensive that these like rich white people were kind of like using a minority judge to talk about the unfairness of the criminal justice system. And then it went on to being like, and shout out to Sona. Okay. Here's the thing. And then like the whole thing was around like Nina not doing anything wrong. I hate when people like I don't think that people who watch a soap opera have to have like any sort of like I don't think you have to be an expert. I think that you can be a person with an opinion and that's fine. And like what like nobody is saying like I don't know anything about physics. I can't even say it. Astrophysics, right? Like I don't know anything about that. And so if I'm like watching Star Trek and people are like, well, you don't know enough about blah blah blah, like I would hate that. So I'm not saying that people have to have like the proper or like whatever race analysis to watch a soap opera. I just want to frame it that way. But I think that if you're offering out racial analysis, you should actually have one. And it shouldn't be based on what characters you like. And so it's not necessarily wrong because it was like also this kind of comparison with like Trina and like how she was treated with the system. That's not a wrong thing to say. It is trash. And let's remember that Alexis got out of jail based on like minority, like a judge, like treating minorities different. And I remember being like, what the hell kind of storyline is this? And then Sean Butler got
He
the
had to leave.
invader,
Right.
right? He got the invader as like essentially reparations from Nicholas for being in jail. And now Alexis runs it. So like I hear you on like how this story isn't good and like whatever, but to like essentially like drag them for like this like whatever and then like turn around and talk about how Nina didn't do anything wrong and shout out to Sona, for me as a reader it felt like these are characters that you didn't like and you started using race as like a way to justify disliking them or disliking their story. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know anything about this person. I don't follow them. I don't even know if they're on Twitter because I'm not on Twitter anymore. But I just felt a way about it. And maybe they did. Maybe they did drag the Alexa story. Maybe they have like said all of these things. But as a reader, it felt a way to see like race being used to attack characters that you don't like. I don't know. I felt a way.
I mean, that's something that our Caucasian brother and sisters do
Well,
when
yeah, I
they,
don't know if this
yeah.
person is white. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. But
Mm,
that's something that they do though.
mm,
They use race as a way to have an argument about something that they don't like
mhm,
when it really doesn't affect them in that same way. You
mhm,
know, and it is slightly it's it is definitely irritating to be used in that way.
mhm.
Um, which I guess speaks to the Alexis storyline, right? She basically, with that judge, just using race as a way to get herself out of jail and not really kind of following through with the concept. I mean, she's not following, she, like, if this was really something that was important to her, she would have been following and done more to make sure the criminal justice system was fixed. Like, where was she when Trina was being railroaded by the justice?
Watching her daughter try to put Trina in jail.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Like, if
The
she,
daughter who got her out of jail using this precedent.
right. And that was at the very last minute. She should have been on that from the get go.
Right, but I'm saying that Molly was the big like was the
Yeah.
person who was like telling Trina that she needed to take some deal that railroaded her.
Yeah. At the same time, so like Alexis should have nipped that in the bud from the beginning,
Yes. This
knowing that
that should have been this.
knowing that she benefited off of a judge that has been using race as a way to, bring us down. She should have been like that. Should have been her next crusade as a lawyer or whoever getting out of jail. That should have been her life mission.
Yeah. And she should have started with Trina.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean. I'm not saying that this analysis about like white one percenters using this or whatever is not like a decent analysis. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is don't just throw that out for characters that you don't like. Let's talk about it in general. So let's talk about the fact that GH can't write for more than one black man, which is why we don't see Taggart, and which is why Sean Butler, or like the guy who played Sean Butler, left, because they wanted to give Curtis all the story because they don't know how to write for black people on this show.
Right.
Let's talk about we talk a lot about sidekicks. People talk a lot about Trina being a sidekick to Jocelyn. Let's talk about Jordan being a sidekick to Anna. I love Jordana scenes. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing Jordan. I love seeing Anna. I love seeing them together. We ain't seen Jordan do anything. Jordan's the vice mayor. So last time Laura left, we saw the trifling vice mayor all the time. Why we don't see Jordan do anything? Then she had this run in with Zeke, and we ain't seen her with a love interest since.
Right. What happened to Zeke? We don't even know what happened to him. He's in an
Right.
act with the kids.
So, like, for me, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if we're gonna do some race analysis, like let's do some race analysis. If we're gonna open that door, let's open the door. Let's not let it just be for characters that we don't like.
Right.
Let's talk about, like I said, people not giving. It was interesting. Tara, who's Port Misery, who guests on the show a lot, I was like talking to her about Portia, and she was saying that she doesn't mind like Portia like being a complicated character. I don't mind Portia being a complicated character either, but let's tell the story. Let's get some exposition for why Portia feels the way she feels about Spencer. So it doesn't just like she's like some kind of monster and Spencer's like this very nice yes ma'am, no ma'am kind of woman. Portia has plenty of reasons not to like Spencer, because Trina puts herself and her freedom and her education in Portia's mind in like check for Spencer. So like the same way I was saying that I feel like Spencer was trying to undermine Trina's education, that was the way it was written. I appreciate them kind of backtracking and him like double downing, like him doing a double down on his support for her art in these new scenes. But the way it was written, he was like, "I came over here early. Stop doing your paper. Come with me now." That's the kind of stuff that Portia should be able to see, and we should be able to like tell this fuller story about why Portia has a problem with Spencer. I'm not even saying it's going to make people like Portia more, but it's going to make her not as random. But like, she doesn't get point of view, and she doesn't get this kind of motivation. It's just we ain't seen Portia since when? So she kind of had another like maybe a little bit exchange with Anna.
Yeah.
So like, you have her going up against one of the most popular couples from the show, and certainly the couple that the show pushes the most.
Right.
And you haven't given her motivation or point of view for why. It was, I don't, did you read Tabiana did an interview about Sprina? Did you read this? I meant to send
No,
it to
I saw that. I saw that she talked about the weekend and how it went, but I didn't read it.
She specifically, one of the things that she said was about like interracial representation and all of that. And it was interesting to me because I mean, like, your point of view is like what you see, right? And, like, so she didn't watch the show, so that it's very valid. And obviously, I'm not coming for Tatiana, but it was interesting to me because I was like, because she, like, one of the things she said was like, it's a difference between like now and then and whatever. And I'm like, actually, in a lot of ways, GH has gone backwards on race and backwards on a lot of representation. We used to have Brad and Lucas in a front burner story. We don't have any queer couples. They look like they might be building out Blaze and Christina to be something, but we don't have one on screen now. We saw Terry and Yuri like exchange keys, and we ain't seen them since.
Yeah, where did Yuri go? I mean, he's obviously not helping Laura anymore. So where did he
No.
go?
Where'd Terry go?
Yeah.
Where'd Terry go? I specifically remember an old episode where the Quartermains were celebrating Kwanzaa with the Wards.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are they
You're like,
celebrating?
why would they do that?
Wait,
He was like, what is that I should do it? No. Edward? But like, there's like there have been, and so that's why when I talk about Trina and talk about like how we make sure that she's a full character, that is me knowing the full arc of how stories work and how Black people are disappeared. Because I would say that Sprina is probably like the most, like, Spencer was like a beloved character and Trina was his character, and then they came together. And so there might be like one of the most front burner interracial couples. But they certainly have had interracial couples before that. Maya and Ethan. Now, they didn't get like the treatment that Sprina is getting, and they weren't like pushed by the show in the way that they were, but they were together for a while. And then when Ethan left and when Maya left, we never talked about them again. Keisha and Jason, we've talked about that at length on this show. When they were no longer together, and Keisha was from a prominent Black family that has been disappeared, we ain't talked about it. And so, like, when I talk about Trina and making sure she could,
yeah, I know you don't like him.
no, it's fine. No, that's right.
They were,
right.
yeah.
And Gia coming back actually would be interesting story for Trina. It would be so interesting if like Taggart and Gia were talking to Portia about Spencer dating Trina.
Because I mean, Taggart definitely has a history with the Cassadines and don't like them.
Not at all.
Yeah, at all. So that's one person that Portia could commiserate with.
And that's when we can get that point of view from her, of her saying, Taggart, Trina almost sent herself to jail so she didn't tell on him. Right. Trina followed this boy on this like ship. You know what I mean? Like, these are like important moments of the Sprina story, but they're also on the like people like from the perspective of somebody who cares about Trina the way Portia does, like she's gonna see it from the opposite side of that.
Mhm.
And so like not establishing like Taggart as like a character and like a core, like him and his family as a core family, and then like allowing Trina to be in a Black family that's not just the Ashfords. This is why we end up having, not in a bad way, but end up like interracial couples on soaps had to exist back in the day, because you when you bring people in and you want them to be important to the show, you put them with like foundational families. And if you don't have Black foundational families, you don't even have an option.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
I
And
mean,
I talked for too long
yeah,
about it, but that's my race. That's my race talk today.
but it's also happening in other soaps as well. So
Tell
like
me more.
like on Young and the Restless, right? You have this prominent Black family, the Winters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of them, the male Devon, used to go out with both. All of the Black males on that show used to go out with Black women, and now they're not.
I've seen a little bit
Because
of
now they're with
this.
white. Yeah, now they're like Devon is with Abby, and who's a Newman,
She was the one
and
that was teleporting.
huh?
The one that you told us about that was teleporting that one time.
Teleporting.
You remember that time that Sandra was telling us about somebody teleporting? Sorry, never mind. Please tell us more. I'll look.
He used to date Amanda, who's Black, lovely woman, lawyer, all these things, and he cheated on her with Abby, a white lady. So now Abby and Devon are together, raising their biracial child, which is fine. But now Nate dumped another Black woman, a doctor who was sweet, Elena, who used to, I think, used to play Valerie.
Oh
Elena,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Elena dumped her for Victoria Newman. And Lily never really dated Black men, but she's also dating a white guy. So now all the members of the Black family are dating white people.
So like it's interesting because like sometimes stuff comes up for me, stuff I don't have muted comes
Right.
up for me on my like For You page on Twitter.
Huh?
And so because I follow like some soap people, even though I don't tweet about the show, I never unfollowed everyone
Yeah.
because I like people. So like on my For You page, soap stuff still comes up, and so I saw this like conversation about YNR being like brought up. I didn't really understand the context, so thank you for explaining the context to me.
And it's also having on Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, really? I mean, I remember there was the actress that plays Lois was
Uh-huh.
with Carter.
Yes.
They looked good together.
They did look good together.
They were. I
And the
saw.
relationship he was about to have, like, so there was two Black men, one's young and one's a little bit older, Carter, and then you have this one Black woman, Paris.
I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had a little triangle, and then Carter leaves that triangle and goes for the white lady. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we don't see Paris and the younger dude at all, but you see Carter, who's now dating a prominent white member of the big family on the show.
Interesting.
Like Black women are being disappeared from soaps.
Yep. And it's like again, obviously have no. I was about to say something that felt like I was going to say I have white friends. You know, because I was going to be like, obviously I don't have a problem with interracial relationships. I loved West Allen, but
Yeah, I have white friends. I love this. No, but it's about story and not giving them a point of view and not giving them the
and
same
not rooting them to the
issue.
show.
You're not rooting them to the show. Yes. Because
Yeah,
I imagine, like, when you were talking about Taggart and Gia, I mean, that would have caused so much drama, some meaty drama that Trina would have to deal with. The fact that one dad is okay with her being with Spencer and another dad is just really not. And, the dad who raised her, who loved her all of her life, is really trying to protect her. And then you got Curtis, who's really focusing on, really himself, but is happy that Trina is in his life. You know, so doing anything he can to keep her in his life.
And that's much more interesting than whatever they had going on with Esme.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant. That's
rant.
my weekly race rant. So
Here's my weekly Cody rant. Cody sucks. That's it.
yeah. Well, Sodi Rising. I'm not a fan, but it is what it is.
I'm mad that they even have a name.
I mean, I don't know if that's what other people are calling them.
Oh.
I know a couple people I talked to are calling them that, but I don't know if that's like the accepted. Y'all can maybe tell us in the comments. I have no idea. Do you
No.
have any other hot takes?
You look at my hot takes. Oh my goodness. Friday. Christina was talking to Dante about Nina. And she's like, yeah, I support the relationship, but I haven't forgot what she did to Milo. I was like, now you know the bad thing that Nina did to Milo. I was like, you've been Nina champion for 100%. Even when you should be the one that has the most smoke for them. And now you're saying I don't blame Michael?
Tragic. It's like, why are you putting this woman over your brother and over Willow, who was like instrumental in helping you get out of a cold?
Sorry, this playing overhead right in the middle of my rant. I was so upset. I was just
It is
like,
the soundtrack of Oakland.
yeah, it's like the Fleet Week happening and these, the Blue Angels flying over. It's just all the time. But anyway, yes, that caught me. I was just like, now Christina has a little bit of smoke, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I think it might be like as we're prepping for like this big reveal to happen, because I do really want to see what side people are going to be on, because it's not about whether or not Carly and Drew did something illegal, and I just really am kind of tired of hearing about that. Like, yeah, because even I don't know if you saw that Cynthia Watros did like an interview in Soap Opera Digest where she was like, Nina technically didn't do anything wrong. I feel like y'all are equating illegal and wrong. She didn't do, like, Nina didn't do anything illegal, no. But what she did that was wrong was be petty. Like, you say that you love Donna, that you're like about to marry Donna's dad, or be with Donna's dad. I don't know if they were engaged at that point, but you would take Donna's mom from her. And granted, I get like the whole like Carly didn't tell her about Willow, and so therefore she needs to get even. Stand in that shit, dude. Stand in it. Because you were mad at Carly. What did you do to you?
Yep, and Drew got beat up. Drew's going to jail. Drew's suffering. Drew saved your daughter's life.
And even before, because I think he hadn't done that yet, you
Right.
knew your daughter was close to these people. So it's like, it's about Sonny telling Michael, well, Nina's your family now too. Okay, so if these people are family, why are you snitching on family? And it's not like Nina did it out of the goodness of her heart. She's dating a mobster or engaged to a mobster. So like, no, of course, like in the grand scheme of like right and wrong, like I'm sure a lot of people won't care about what Nina did. Like, Valentine for sure ain't gonna care. Like there are people who are not gonna care, and there are the people who are front burner and front and center are people who are in relationship with Carly and Drew, and you did something shady to them, so now people are going to care. So like everybody doesn't have to think it's wrong. I'm sure a lot of people won't care or be like, well, yeah, Carly and Sunny did something, or Carly and Drew did something wrong. But you have no high horse to stand on some like, I just wanted to turn in something illegal, because you don't care about the legality of things. So it's not about like whether or not she did something illegal. Like illegal doesn't make something illegal, or illegal is not what makes something wrong. You disrupted families because you were jealous. Stand in it, sis. Anyway, annoying.
Yeah. So I think that's the only hot take that I have that I hadn't already talked about. I did make I thought it was funny. I wrote a note, ha, no luggage for you. But that's it.
Everything you own in a box to the left, Gladys. I need people in Port Charles to understand what elope means.
Meaning just going to the judge.
It does not mean going
destination wedding. It's not
a small destination wedding. That's not what elope means. Hey, what are y'all talking about? He's just going around. We're eloping. We're eloping. We're eloping. We're eloping. Sunny.
Oh, you're going to the courthouse and getting your certificate, and then that's it. No, you're going to a destination wedding.
A destination that you've been at with your other women.
To the island.
Tired of him. That was my only hot take that we didn't already talk about. Ready for next week?
Next week, yes.
All right. Chase opens up. Oh, this is Monday. And who knows, with everything going on in the world, we might end up having some preemptions, but this is just as written. So Monday the night, Chase opens up. Nina gets a welcome surprise. So we know that this is from Soap Opera Digest. This is going to be Willow, Michael, and Wiley joining them on the private jet to go to the wedding. Finn warns Gregory. Cyrus suffers a setback. Lucy makes a big decision. Tuesday, big day. I'm very excited for it. Stella acclimates Felicia. Lois returns. I'm so very excited about them. The casting of Amanda as Brooklyn is so wild because she looks so much like the actress that plays Lois. I'm just so excited for their scenes together. They're about to be really good. Trina catches up with Curtis and Marshall. Elizabeth makes a confession. Spencer gets an update on Nicholas.
From Laura, yes, Laura's probably coming back then.
I think so. I did see a still of it was, I think, Spencer, Baby Ace, Esme, and Kevin at the hospital. So that's something that's gonna be coming up. I don't know when it's gonna happen though. Wednesday. Jocelyn is blindsided. Concerns about Ava grow. This is the thing I meant to mention. This is like the logistics piece of it that like just frustrates me because I don't care about continuity. So Ava left Avery with Jocelyn and then went home and then got kidnapped from home. Where's Avery?
Right, like because Carly was like, yeah, Ava can drop Avery off over here and you can pick them up together. So where is Avery?
Okay. We'll just guess find that out. Austin is blackmailed. Willow is unsettled. Scott takes on a new client. Thursday, the 12th. Selena visits Curtis. Portia shares career news. Joss and Dex seek Spinelli's help. Spinelli is back. Where is my Spixie? I'm tired of it. Give it to me. Michael is left reeling. Sunny and Nina's wedding day arrives. Friday the 13th. Oh, it's gonna be Friday the 13th. We should watch some scary movies. Anyway, Blaze surprises Christina. Sasha makes a revelation. Carly opens up to Sam. You know I love some Car Sam. I would also love for Sam to have some point of view. Anyway, Michael plays dirty. Maxie and Lucy consider naming a new face of deception.
Now, I know you're probably one who would champion Trina being the new face of deception, but when I saw a photo of Nicholas Chavez on the cover of Deception, I was like, so
Deception is a thing that sells makeup and maybe vibrators. I don't know what the Deceptor is actually, but it feels
vibrator.
But I do not want Spencer selling makeup. Absolutely not. No.
I know, but I just thought he looked that the photo that they chose of him on the cover was really nice.
I think I saw it. It was very AI. I actually would not mind. I do feel like Spencer needs something to do. And I was just actually talking about this a while ago. That I feel like what would have been more interesting if they were going to keep this Spencer Esme mess happening is if Spencer would still have been broke. So like he would have had to be working at Kelly's with Carly. He would have had to, so like we can like stop pretending like Carly shouldn't like be looking out for Spencer. Anyway, but like still working at Kelly's, maybe going to school and then also running around and doing the stuff with Ace. And so that him and Trina missing each other would have felt less like a choice of Spencer just like choosing a baby and his ex, and more like they're both burning the candles at both ends, and then whatever. And then he was like saving up all this money to like take her away, which would have been really cute. And then when they got back, whatever happened with Nicholas, then Spencer will be getting his money back. And then boom, he's rich again. And we could have actually built up his character. So I'm not against like Spencer being like, I'm gonna be a model. I just don't want it to be for deception. What's going on over at I don't know. I was gonna say Basic Black, but that's a Days of Our Lives thing. Go model some suits or something, Spencer. I wouldn't mind that.
Right.
Whatever Port Charles's version of GQ is.
I guess that's just. Oh, what's that? Oh, the only other magazine is Nina's magazine, right? Crimson.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a model for Crimson.
I would love for my favorite ship, Tross, to both like be like, cover girls. I would love for that to happen. Which is Trina and Joss. Oh, also shout out to the Jex fans who did a We Love Eden weekend. It was very sweet. They did like favorite memes and things like that of her. I really like Eden. I had tweeted about my aunt passing away a little bit ago. And she like slid into my DMs and said some really nice things, and I thought that was very sweet of her because she didn't need to. And I don't really share that a lot. So I think I've always loved this like young adult scene. I think they're all extremely talented and they feel like my kids. That's why I had to kind of turn away from Sprina. I was like, you go kids. You go kids.
Yeah, luckily we didn't have to do too much of that. They kept it tasteful, so
Yes, it was very tasteful. It was very tasteful. I was like, but you
yeah.
go, kids. Good for you. I saw like this picture of William and like his girlfriend. I was like, oh, Cameron, come on.
Oh.
So anyway, shout out to them. I love when the young people are getting recognized and celebrated, and yeah, thought it was very sweet.
All right.
Anyway, that's our show. That's our Sunday shift.
Thank you.
Episode 100, baby.
Thank you for shifting with us for
Thank you.
100 episodes. We appreciate all those who listen to us and engage with us. We appreciate all of our co-hosts.
That's
We
right. That's right.
everyone that's been involved in the show, and shout out to Tracy for starting it and maintaining it and allowing us to thrive. You're amazing. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of it.
Thank you for being excellent co-host who always makes me think.
I shall
Down
do.
0.5 notches.
Yeah, down 0.5.
All right, y'all. We will see you next week for 101, and we will act like that's 100. We'll do something special.
All right.
Bye, y'all. Oh, maybe I'm saying bye. Feel like I can't close it out. Okay. This is elder millennial stuff. All right. Peace out, y'all.